Welcome to Get the Facts with Folan, episode 27. Wow. Who would have guessed that it was going to go this long? I've been having a blast with it, guys. Got my taste of freedom here in Singapore yesterday. I'm officially out of home quarantine, which is nice. Let's start this episode. Got a really good travel buddy who's joining us. He's originally from Peru, currently in Bogota, Colombia. And so Andres is in. Let's get him to join. And let's get into what life is like in Colombia today.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's up, man? How are you?
So good, so good. How about you?
I am great, man. I am great. I am having my time here.
Perfect. Hey, introduce yourself, say your name, where you're from, and then you can tell the story on how we met because this was an epic time.
Yeah. So, okay. My name is Andres. I am originally from Peru, and I am currently living in Bogota. And how we met with Brandon, it was a fun time, man. We met on Couchsurfing, right? And
Yep.
this man was coming from Antarctica. And I said, damn, this might be interesting, to talk about, right?
Yeah.
And then I think I requested you to not to host you, but to hang out with you, right? And
Exactly,
said,
exactly, to meet up, exactly.
And then, damn, we're going to have a good time. And then the Usain Bolt thing happens. It was just a year ago, right? Crazy.
It's crazy. It's exactly a year ago. So our first day, we met up, did a quick tour. Guys, there's catacombs in Lima, which is pretty wild. Not many people know about that. So we went to the catacombs, had a couple amazing meals together. And then day two, we're like, oh, you're the reason why. It's so funny because I told you the Olympic story. He's like, dude, Usain Bolt's here. I go, what? You're like, Usain Bolt's here. I go, okay, well, we're going to go meet him. We're going to get a selfie with Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, yeah, let's do it. I was like, absolutely, let's do it. So the next day we go, and there's this massive setup on this mall kind of far outside of the town. And so we go there, and we're waiting. And just in typical South American fashion, Usain Bolt was super late. They were like, 1 more hour, 30 more minutes. They pushed it for like 2 hours. And I had a bus ticket, right? Like, I was like, okay, they better hurry up. Like, Usain Bolt, the fastest man in the world, he better hurry up and get here.
Yeah, because you were going to travel to another city that day,
I was headed to Juarez, exactly. And but finally, Usain Bolt shows up. He's on stage, right? Gets the crowd pumping. It was awesome. And we're like, oh, man, he didn't meet anybody. But remember, we scouted out.
At first, I didn't think we are going to take a selfie with that man because it was too crowded. There was too many people there. But it was a really crazy experience, and I love it, man.
Oh my gosh, but guys, we scouted out the mall, and I was like, all right, let's have a fallback plan. We got there early enough. We were front row. I was like, all right, this is a good spot. If he comes down, gives high fives to people, we'll be part of it. We had the only family from Jamaica in the whole country of Peru next to us, so the Jamaican flag was gold. And so, he does this, he's singing, he's dancing, right, doing the famous pose. And then he leaves, and I was like, all right, let's go, fall back, exactly where we think we're going. So we saw that they were setting up a massive party for him at Puma. So we fell in love with the Jamaican family. Like, guys, come with us, let's go. So literally, we're sprinting, right, through the crowd, up the escalator, all the way to the other side of the mall. And it freaking paid off because we got that selfie with Usain Bolt, got to meet him again. So
we did it. And
that was an
we
epic.
have to mention those people, those great guys from Jamaica.
Exactly.
Right? They were three. They were Isa, Ian, and their mother. Right.
Exactly.
They were super helpful with us and really nice people. I hope you are doing fine if you are seeing.
Yeah,
them.
Shout out to them. I wonder if they're still in Peru. I wonder if they went back. It would be interesting to find out where they are now. But that was a fun. And then they drove. She was kind enough. She drove us. Yeah, she drove me to the bus station. They were just an incredibly kind family, and they were just as stoked as we were to meet Usain Bolt. So what a cool time we had.
It really paid off. It was really paid off, man. Really good for us.
Exactly. So let's dive into this episode. What's it like in Colombia now? How has COVID-19 affected daily life there? What's the situation like?
We've been quarantining for already 18 days. So here what happened is that I think as any other country, it started really low with just one case or two cases. but then the thing spread like a really fast rate,
Yeah.
and then the government said to us like, I don't know how many weeks after the first case, I think just 8 days after the first case, the government says, okay, you are going to be quarantined for 2 weeks. Okay, and then they have extended it until April the 12th. And yeah, and only now in Colombia you can go outside to buy some food or get some medication. That's it. You cannot go outside to do like, you know, restaurants or stuff like as any other country. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's been tough here because like for me, I do love eating fruits and vegetables, and I can't store
Mhm.
much myself because it could get rotten in the,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So for me it's like I have to go outside like just in like once a week, you know, to get
Yep.
some food, to get water, and etc. And it is affecting me in the way that I am not eating much vegetables.
Yeah.
But besides that, I am doing also I am home office right now. Like I am doing some stuff. I
Mhm.
am it is fine. It is going like it has gone very low because like when I was in the office, I was really working hard, you know, because there was
Right.
like so much pressure from my boss or from
Right.
someone who needs help. But now, right now, everything like has a slowdown because like there's no businesses that COVID has affected to, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
right now I am kind of like a little bit not so much occupied, but it is the way it is because we have to, you know, to take it
Yeah,
as
there's not
it is.
exactly. There's not much you can do. What an interesting time to intern. I mean, like when you're interning, it's good to be surrounded by people, right? You're learning from your superiors and like having to do an internship online. What an
Yeah, and
interesting time.
also I have to say that I came here to Bogota for the first time, and like I was having a real friend like relationship with my coworkers,
Yeah.
and and then it suddenly stopped, and now I am alone in this country, and I kind of working from home, but it is not the same because you know the I don't know corporal interaction
Right.
stuff like
Right.
that. You know that, yeah.
Well, it's different. It's just messaging on an app or sometimes face, video time. It's just yeah, not
Yeah,
stuff like
it is
that's
super
that's
different.
that's an interesting impact that not many people are thinking about, right? I mean, interns, right? Yeah, like lucky to have a job, but then to be there, it's a new country. It's just and to be there for a couple months and then put on quarantine. What an interesting
Yes,
aspect.
yes, and I am worried about that because my contract says that I am working here until July.
Yeah,
But like as the quarantine goes, I am not so sure when I am like when it is going to shut down, you know, when it is going to
not
stop.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I was thinking about is what would happen if the quarantine continues until I don't know July or probably August, and I am
right.
still here. Like my contract doesn't like support me to get any more time here, and this is crazy to think. But let's stay positive, man.
No,
I
totally. I'm hoping that somehow we solve this. Some sort of vaccine comes out where we could
yeah,
fix
yeah,
it.
sure,
But
man. Oh my
that
God.
is one of my biggest questions as well. Is like I get 90 days here in Singapore. If for some reason like they're gonna have to give you an emergency visa, right? Emergency extension because there's
The
hardly any
visa.
flights. And so right, like what I mean, will I fly back to the United States? Will there even be flights in 90 days? I mean, who knows? It's so weird where everyone is truly living day to day. There's like it's still life, but it's a very weird new normal, and there's a lot of
Yeah,
uncertainty.
yeah,
Um, and I mean, there's really who can answer the questions? No one. It's literally watching the numbers and hoping our governments are truly giving out the correct numbers. And it's just all these medical companies, guys. Let's race. If you can figure out the vaccine, let's go. There's your multi-billion-dollar idea. I mean, right? I mean, truly save humanity. Like you will be. Not only will you be world known just because you started the vaccine, but you got us back to our normal, and
yeah.
that's what all of us need.
Yeah, to get
So
to normal, it is going to be really hard, man, because we have to go. We are going to have to go like not every day as normal. Like maybe
yeah,
some people will work 1 or 2 days a week in the office, and the other days are going to home
Right.
office. Yeah, it's
No,
really
it's
complicated to think, and I don't know. I don't know how much like it is going to last too. But
yeah,
anyways,
yeah. The fingers crossed it's sooner rather than later. But all right, enough about COVID-19. Let's talk travel. And where you are, Colombia, is again, guys. I say it every time we do an episode in South America. South America is the best continent on the planet. If you haven't
for,
been, you
for
need
real.
to go. And so I know you haven't spent too much time in Colombia, but let's dive into Colombia for as much as we can. I'll offer my advice, and if there's any of these questions you want to answer for Peru as well, by all means, please do.
Okay,
So in your
okay.
opinion,
My
based on
pleasure.
your research, the little time you've had, what are the top three must-see spots in Colombia?
Okay, in Colombia, like there's too much variety here, and
Yep,
I would say if you come to Colombia, go first to the jungle, and after that you could go to the nice beaches Colombia has, and also the big
yep,
cities because, like, I know capital cities are almost the same between each other, but you get to
right,
know
right.
well the country by going to those capital, and yeah, I would say if you're coming here, try Bogota, try Cartagena. Cartagena is a really, really popular spot,
So
man.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been told that it is the best spot in Colombia. I am not going to say anything yet, but
yeah,
yeah, go to Cartagena or some coast beaches that Colombia has. They are really beautiful. Also, the
yeah, yeah.
jungles. For the jungles, I don't know a name
I
particularly,
do.
but
I'll help you here. It's you go down, you fly all the way down south. So this is the one part of Colombia that you have to fly. You cannot bus. It's called Leticia. So this is where I personally had my Amazon adventure. So you got to fly down. It's the southernmost point in Colombia, and mark my words, it's the best Amazon experience you can get on the planet. It was so
yeah,
good because it's right on the border of Peru, or on the border of Brazil as well, and so you're bouncing between a few countries and you can just disappear into the jungle. Had a couple of my friends join me. Shout out to Brianna. It was epic, and the piranha fishing,
must do
the
that.
sloths, the wildlife we saw, the pink dolphins on this part in Leticia. They guarantee that they're going to find you pink dolphins. I was like, guys, come on, like when you can't. It's for me. I don't believe companies when they guarantee that you're gonna see wildlife. Well, we found him. It was insane. So,
Yeah.
getting to some of the Leticia, I totally agree. So, great recommendation there. For
Yeah.
sure, a must see spot when you get
And
there.
also, there is one city I want to say, Medellin. Medellin is,
Yes.
yeah, the capital, like the capital of innovation in Latin America, I would say. Yeah,
Yep.
like there are too many startups that grew up there, and I mean they are having a great time because it is a very cultural city. I mean they do have a metro, and we don't in the capital, so
Yep.
they are increasing at a very high rate level. And yeah, I would be interested to go there, and I have so many good references about that too.
Oh, I tell you what, guys, I have done a lot of walking tours. Walking tours is always one of the first things that I do when I get to a country, especially any city. It's a good way. If you quit, it's like speed dating a city, right? You get to see very quickly the spots you need to go back and spend more time at. Medellin has the best walking tour on the planet. If you want it, like there's a specific company, like reach out to me. I'll happily send you the name of it. But it's so popular you gotta. It's required 48 hours, 72 hours in advance to get a spot on their walking tour, and like the history there. A lot of people, if you've watched Narcos, right? When people think of Colombia, they think of Narcos, of course, and like yes, that was Pablo Escobar city, but the city has come so far past that. Like they have the culture again. That the people have gotten their city back, and so much culture, so many things to do there. That is truly one of the best cities in South America to visit. And for the football matches, it's insane. There's very cheap paragliding. You can go to Guadape, which is this massive rock surrounded by crazy lakes. You can also go paintballing at one of Pablo Escobar's old houses. So Medellin, again, very good ball. That dude,
Yeah,
that is an epic city.
you know
Absolutely loved it.
better
And real
than me.
quick, you mentioned Yeah, I've been to Colombia twice, and two other spots that I want to highlight real quick. One, you mentioned Cartagena. It is a great city, but in my opinion, you need to go further across. Go to Santa Marta. I think it's 4 or 5 hour bus ride, and so there you have a small city called Minca, so you can be in the mountains, right, in much cooler weather. You can be in Santa Marta enjoying time on the beach. But what I absolutely love, one of my number one spots, no joke, in Colombia, is called Tirona National Park. And this national park, you have to walk into it. You have to trek. You cannot bicycle. You cannot drive. You're literally dropped off at the entrance, and you sleep on the beach. There's small little huts that have hammocks set up. It's another must-do spot. The Lost City Track is very close to Santa Marta. That is Colombia's version of Machu Picchu. Not nearly as grand as Machu Picchu. I mean, not even close. But it's the journey to get there. It's a 3 to 4 day trek through the jungle. You're drinking river water, and make sure it's treated, because I got super sick because the guide said they treated it, but they hadn't. But Colombia, I mean, even got the desert. I mean, it's great. Colombia is more or less a baby Brazil. It's a smaller version of Brazil, just as much stuff to see. But I love it. Absolutely love it. So, Andres, sorry, man, a little soapbox there. If you can't tell, I love Colombia. It's a cool spot.
It's your show. No, but it is okay. It is okay. Don't worry about it.
So let's dive into food. I mean, you've only been there a few months. What kind of Colombian foods have you enjoyed that stand out in your mind? How does the food compare to Peru? Are you craving food from back home?
Yeah, I always crave food from back home because it is different. It is different
Yeah.
anywhere. Like I don't want to talk bad about Colombia, but
No.
Peru is Peru.
Yeah.
So like the difference between the culinary system. Okay,
Yeah.
so Colombia has lots of types of meat, I would say, or they use it more than in Peru. Okay, so there is here a very traditional spots where you can get grill, just exactly grill. So what I like it the most is a popular dish from Medellin, actually, but they sell it like anywhere in Colombia. It is called bandeja paisa, which is a combination between greens, pork, avocado, eggs, rice, and also sausage. So there
Nice.
is
All
like
mixed
a
together.
30 package plate. It is really heavy, but I mean it is good. It is good. I loved it. Yeah, and
Yep.
also they do have really nice desserts here. So they are kind of the same in Peru, but it tastes good here because they have like more, how do I say that, passion fruit. They do have,
Passion fruit.
you know,
Exactly. Yep.
pitaya. Yeah, I don't. There are too many names, but they are good actually. But besides that, I am craving for Peruvian food. Yeah, I miss my mom.
Have you had the ceviche yet in Colombia?
Yes,
What do you think?
yes.
Honestly,
I had to
as a
try it.
Peruvian, how does
I
it
took
compare?
myself- There's no point of comparison. No, it is really different. I am not going to talk bad about it, but it is really
It's just
different
different.
because you
It's
get
different.
the different and specific ingredients in each country,
Right.
you know, or in each city. Because sometimes it is popular just, for example, let's say, I am just putting an example. In Peru, we have a great lemon, but it is just in the north that we have a great lemon. Other
Yeah.
than that, it's not as good and as acid as the lemon should be. So it is the same here. The lemon here, it is not as acid as our lemon, and also we are now in the highlands. We're not in the coast, so the fish is not as fresh as I tried in Peru. Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
it was okay. The ceviche here was okay, but the Peruvian ceviche is fantastic.
No, you can't beat the Peruvian ceviche. It's truly the best. But it'll be interesting when.
Do you remember we had ceviche in Peru?
Oh my gosh, absolutely! That was some of the best ceviche I've ever had in my life. Yeah. Because we're with my couch surfing host. We all met up. He had that specific restaurant, literally just on his street block. Everyone has their spot. and that was some good stuff. It would be interesting to see when you get to the coast, when you go to Cartagena, when you go to Santa Marta, to try the ceviche there. It is different. I want to say like they put like ketchup or tomato paste in there. It was weird. Like they put a few weird things in it. It's thicker versus just straight up lime juice, you know? So it's interesting how each country truly has their own spin on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And have you seen there's carts in the street where it's a street vendor. It's usually a massive plastic container and it's just like fruit. And so they'll scoop the fruit out into
Yeah.
a. That's one of my
Yeah.
the best treats you can get in Colombia. Super sweet,
Yeah.
super good. I don't even know what the name of it is, but oh man, you can't get enough of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, with my coworkers mainly because like when I came here, my friends were my coworkers, right?
Yep. Yep.
Like they took me like anywhere they could to make me try things from Colombia, and that's what I love from them. Like they're very friendly, they are very, very, very nice people, and with them I tried like lots of different types of fruit, and also they have one specific and very popular snack which is called arepa, which is
Arepa. Mhm.
basically a mass of corn, yeah, and stuffed with many things. You can add them eggs, or you can put them tomatoes or onions or whatever, and it is great. It is
Yep.
great. And after that, like I don't know what's the name. I know, but I don't remember the name of the thing like where you put fruit in juice.
Yeah,
I
I know.
think I
Yeah,
give
what I don't.
Angela here, one friend of mine.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I don't know.
You can't.
Salchichón.
You can't miss it. If you're walking in the streets of Colombia, you're gonna see it. I mean, it's sometimes on the back of a motorbike or on a small cart, but it's always a big clear box, a plastic box filled with
Yeah,
just so many fruit. It's almost like a drink, but it's chunky. So it's so nice. Man, I tell you
yeah,
what, we forgot to mention one big thing about Colombia, the coffee. Colombia is so well known for its coffee.
for
I'm not a huge
coffee.
coffee drinker, but if you get down to Salento, there's a famous spot, a very small city where they have the world's tallest palm trees, but that's in the coffee region. And you coffee lovers, you'll be in heaven if you get to that small city as well. How have you? Are you a coffee drinker? Do you think it's incredibly amazing?
I am not a coffee
Uh
drinker,
huh.
but when I came here, I knew that like Colombia has the best coffee,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I
Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. You're back. Sorry, your Wi-Fi was failing us. Let's see. Uh-oh. No volume. We can't hear you. Try talking. It might just take a second to come back. No audio. I can see you now. You're back. It was spinning to load. And come on, Wi-Fi. You said, let's see. Try, let's see if we can get it back. So, you guys, there's a one thing about everyone staying at home is everyone's going to be using the Wi-Fi at once. Oh no, you can't hear. Shoot. Let's see, Andres. Maybe try. Wait, you're back. Can you talk? Nothing. Um, You're gonna hang up. You're gonna call back in. Let's try that. Exactly. Well, look at that. Silent. Let's see. All right. Let's hope I can bring them back in, or else it's gonna have to be two parts. Bring them back. Come on, baby. Please work.
I can hear you now.
Perfect. We're back. We're back. Good. All right. So
Why, man? It's driving me crazy all the time. Okay,
has
we're
there
fine. We're
has
fine.
there been we're good. Are there any weird foods in Colombia that you can think of?
Um, I don't know, but friends of mine told me that they ate a worm, a really greasy worm,
Ah,
and also ants. They call it
ants. Yes. Yes.
yes. They call it hormigas potonas, which is big as ants. So yeah, you eat them like they are cooked and then you eat them. I try it, but in Peru, not here.
Uh-huh.
But I guess it is the same. So
There are
yeah,
guys, exactly. It's very similar to Peruvian. There will be guys walking street side trying to sell you these packaged ants. Eat them like potato chips. So yeah, great call. I've forgotten about those, but
yeah.
something to add to your bucket list of food meals when you get to Colombia. All right, let's dive into what kind of stereotypes. Being a foreigner coming in Colombia, what kind of stereotypes did you have coming in that have been true, that have been false?
Okay, I have to say that I didn't have this stereotype, but like all the Latin American culture, I would say it has that Colombia, it's loaded with drug trafficking,
Yep.
and because of that, it is hard to come here, and it is super dangerous. So it depends, because when I just came here, like even my mom was kind of worried of me because of that,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
all my family, I would say, all my family was worried. They were saying, "Oh man, there's a lot of trafficking there. Just take lots of care." When I came here, it was like I don't see anything yet.
Uh,
Like there probably are some, but not in the city, or I don't know where it is located. I mean,
right.
it was located on the. Okay, so I did have that stereotype, but because I was surrounded by.
Yep.
But right now, I would say it is not as dangerous as people think. In general, South America is because, let's say, when I went in Peru, like the 2 years that I lived there,
Yep.
nothing happened to me. Nothing happened to me. But every time I go abroad, something happened. I got stolen or something random or weird happened
Yep.
to me. Yeah, so it is really relative.
Exactly, and to piggyback off that, I mean, South America, yes, there is that stigma for the whole continent. It's just this is one of those country, not even like countries for Colombia, South America as a whole, like for rookie travelers. Like if you want to go to a place that's easy to travel, you go to Europe, right? You stay in the United States, like those places. Again, there's theft in Europe. You just in South America specifically, you just always got to be in your A game, right? I mean, people, it's usually petty theft, right? People, if they're not watching their backpack, they leave it down, leave the phone, on the table. It will disappear. There's a saying in South America, more or less in English, that if you show me your mangoes, I'm going to take them. And so, when you think about how some of these people in these countries, if they see an iPhone, that's an opportunity to potentially feed their family for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And so, like it's them literally trying to survive, which doesn't make it right. No, not necessarily. Does it make it okay that they stole your phone? No, but it's just one of those things you need to think about when you get to South America. Just you got to be on your A game. I mean, if you do overnight buses, I literally would always sleep with my backpack on my chest because I've had buddies who they slept with it on the ground. They woke up, someone had put a knife, cut the bottom of it, and all their stuff was gone. So it's small things like that. You need to be very street smart. In regard to the drugs you just mentioned, right? Everyone thinks of Pablo Escobar when they go to Colombia. I mean, I was guilty as well, right? Like I want to do a little Pablo Escobar tour in Medellin. The locals hate him. They absolutely hate him. The Pablo Escobar is more or less the devil in Colombia. I mean, it's a name that you don't want to mention unless you know the group of people you're with, because a lot of people might get offense. It's surprising how many lives he negatively impacted in Colombia. I mean, that guy was a monster. Netflix had totally glorified his life. But do the walking tour in Medellin. They'll tell you about it. They'll talk to you about it. You can still visit his gravesite. I did. But after, I did it before the walking tour, and then learning how much these people truly hate this man. I don't know. You all need to go to Colombia to not associate Pablo Escobar to that country, but to the amazing people and the amazing sites that they have, because Escobar is old news. Like the Colombian government has spent millions of dollars, on security in Medellin. It's one of the safest cities now in Colombia. They want tourists there. They want you to feel safe, and you will. But again, the petty theft, of course, that happens anywhere. You just got to be smart. So yeah, No, great call, man. It's funny. It's very interesting to me that your family had the same thoughts about going to Colombia. It shows the impact that Escobar had in the 80s, 90s, and how it's
Yeah.
still that stereotype that everyone truly thinks of when Colombia comes to light. So great
Yeah.
example,
Totally.
very good example. I've got another question. How do the parties in Colombia compare to the parties in Peru?
They're they're kind of the same. It is Latin music,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they play the same types of songs, I would say. Yeah, I mean, there's not much difference. Oh, but they do have a bus here. Like, have
yeah,
you been to a bus crawl? Have you been to a bus crawl?
yeah,
Yeah, it is the same. It is the same. In North America, they call it bus crawl, but here they call it pachanguero, which is like some partier lover.
yeah. And what
So
they're called?
this
They're
bus,
called chibas, right? Chiba buses. Up, they have them in. Hold on, let me Google it. You keep talking about it. I want to figure. I want to remember the name of it.
yeah, I think it is pachanguero. I am not sure
Pachanga.
about it, but like this bus takes you like this bus, I would say take you to 10 places to get some alcohol or just to get drunk, and then you
Yeah,
come up to the bus again. It is just like a bus crawl. And yeah, that's it. There's a lot. It is a really noisy bus, but I have heard that it is really, really good, but I haven't tried it yet. So
so when you get to Cartagena is known. So they in Cartagena they call them chibas,
Chiba.
Chiba. It's Chiba buses,
Okay.
and so what they do is they have a live band on there, right, playing instruments. They're going to try to sell you instruments so you can play along. They'll sell you alcohol on the way, but it's basically a pub crawl on the buses around the city. It's so much fun. That is again a
Yeah.
must do when you, especially in Cartagena. Cartagena is the spot you have to try it. It makes for a fun night, and you get it's a lot of tour, right? It's a very touristy thing, but you'll make some friends. A couple locals might join in. So yeah, Chiba buses in Cartagena. It's guaranteed fun night.
Yeah, it is probably the same. I am not sure about that, but I saw
Yeah,
too many buses on the street, like
yeah,
taking too many people inside and everyone drinking and dancing. It seems like a nice plan.
yeah, yeah. No, that's a good call. I'd forgotten about that. That is a very very memorable night. So all right, what is your favorite thing about Colombia thus far?
So far,
I mean, you've only been
I
there a
would
couple
say
of months,
that
man. Sorry. Yeah.
yes, yes, it is really tough here. I would say the contrast between the nature and the city, because we do have a really popular spot here. It is called Cerro de Monserrate, which is a really a mountain in which you just climb it. Like I don't know how many stairs are there to climb it,
Mhm.
and like from the top you could see that you are surrounded by lots of, I don't know, flora, and there
Yeah,
is
yeah,
the
flowers,
city,
flora. Yeah, exactly. Right, right,
flowers,
right.
flowers. Yeah, and there is the city like in front of it, like modern buildings and stuff like that. It is a really nice contrast, and also I like here the weather. I would say because it is like quite nice cold. I like the cold. I don't like much warm weather. So I would say it is really really interesting cold because the humidity is high, but not
Uh-huh.
as high as you could get somewhere else. And it is nice to walk around. Maybe it is a nice weather. Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah. All right, let's mix it up. What's your favorite thing about Peru?
Peru, food, man. Food is the best thing we do have. Yeah, I mean, I am craving, as I said before, I'm craving from Peruvian food because we do have some specific spices, some specific ingredients to put in our food. And I
Right.
mean that because I can get them here, even though it is South America, I
Yeah.
can get them. You know, like I am on couch surfing. I don't know since 2018,
Hmm.
and I had an experience in Ottawa. So in Ottawa, they wanted to try Peruvian food, and there was this Chinese market where I could get the specific ingredients to do the gallina, which is made in Peru.
Yeah, yeah.
But those kind of markets in North America aren't here in Colombia. I don't know why. Yeah,
Interesting.
we're
Yeah,
not
very
even far.
interesting.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing I like the most of Peru. And obviously, there's my family too.
Oh, you can't beat a home cooked meal. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What was that purple drink we had together? I think it was purple.
Oh man, that shit! I made that shit, man. Okay, so that's called chicha morada. Chicha morada is
Yes.
like a beverage made of purple corn, I would say, and you
Yep.
could get that just in Peru, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah,
seen it anywhere else. I think it's just Peru.
yeah. So okay, so my
Uh-oh. Say again? Oh, dang it. I think his phone might be running out of battery. Can't hear me? Let's do it one more. We'll call you back and we'll wrap this up. Technical difficulties. If you're just joining, we are currently talking to my buddy Andres, who is in Colombia, originally from Peru, and it's been fun hearing what it's like as an expat in a foreign country. He's been there for about 3 months now, and it's what a time to move to a brand new country. All right, perfect.
yeah.
We'll wrap
Okay,
this up.
so
Last
this
question for you. What's one thing that would surprise people about either Colombia or Peru?
I'm not sure about Colombia.
Yeah.
Like, if you're one of the people that think that there's a lot of llamas in Peru, like in the streets, they are not. Llamas are just in the highlands. Yeah, we do have llamas a lot, but in the highlands, not in the coast. So
Yeah.
if you are going to Peru expecting that you are going to have a picture with a llama, it is not going to happen on the coast. No. Yeah,
But when you get to
I have
but when you get to Cusco,
literally I have some friends that thinks that everything is like stuffed out with llamas, and that's not true.
it's not true at all. If you go to Cusco, you go to Machu Picchu, yes, you will see them everywhere. But the rest of the country,
Yeah,
Mencora, you're not gonna see any llamas, right? Like it's that is too funny. That's a great fun fact. That's even a stereotype about Peru. They're not everywhere. You'll
yeah,
see stuffed
man.
ones. It's a great souvenir to take home, but the real ones, yeah, you need to get to the highlands. Andres, thank you so much for your time, man. Seriously, it's so good to see you. It's been fun to reconnect. I want you to share your words with the world. What is your message to the world? The stage is yours.
Damn, this is a really complicated question. But damn, this goes
It's just a
from
message,
like
man. It can be as simple as
travel
peace and
tips
love.
to existentialism. Okay, so to the world, I would say do what makes you happy. Like if you are happy traveling around, do that. If you are happy like doing some hard work in your office, do that. Like just do what makes you comfortable, happy, and be in peace. That's it.
Absolutely. Now, with that, guys, I totally agree. Andres, thanks so much, man. It's so good to see you. It, oh, dang it, we've lost your audio again. Golly, but at least you got your message in. All right, take care, man. So, guys, real quick, that's the end of our episode in Colombia. For those of you who continue to follow this series, next couple ones coming up, we're headed to a region of Spain that people don't consider Spain. We're going to Zach, who we had technical difficulties with a week ago, and then tomorrow in 24 hours we're headed. So with that, please stay at home, please stay inside, wash your hands, and together let's get through this. And for everyone watching this series, hope you guys have enjoyed as much as I have. What a fun way to learn about other cultures, and for me, just reconnect with some of my favorite people from around the world. Because it sucks. This quarantine does suck, and getting stuck inside for someone that loves meeting people, it's a challenging time when you have to stay away from them. But this is as good as it gets until things get back to normal. So with that, guys, please stay safe, and we'll see you next episode.